What is good? Coach Steve here with I Love Basketball TV, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to figure out exactly how high you're jumping, plus 3 tips to help you jump higher today. Let's go!
Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine.
And we're back. What's going on, guys? If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because we have new videos every single week to help you improve your game. Today's all about vertical jump. Hit that notification bell so you can be jumping higher than your competition because we want you dunking on them. We don't want you getting dunked on, okay? All right, so how high do you actually jump? Very simple process mathematically, and then I'm going to get into how to actually test and have your best test you could possibly have. So you have your standing reach. I have shoes on, measure it. Again, I like to cheat myself, meaning like reach as high as I can, meaning making my vertical shorter, because I'd rather err on the side that my vertical's lower than it is than be like this, my reach like this, and be like, I got a 50-inch vertical. Just because I want to make sure I'm really making progress and I'm not cheating myself. So I'm not really cheating myself, actually. So point being is reach up, touch a wall. You can do it by yourself. Reach a little bit. You don't need to reach like crazy, but just extend a little bit, touch the wall. Measure it on the wall, make a pencil mark, have a friend make a pencil mark where your hands are, and measure that from the wall to the floor, and that's your reach. Mine's about 91 inches, right? And then the rim is 120. So one of the easiest ways for me to measure, if you guys have a rim you can go to, is just touch the rim, right? How far down can you touch? So one of my first goals as a dunker was a 40-inch vertical. So I measured my hand, which is about 8 inches, and then another couple inches to hit here. So if you go watch on YouTube my 40-inch vert, when I was testing it, I was touching the rim around here, right? So that's how you're gonna test your vertical, which I'm gonna get into in a minute, but I just wanna finish how to actually measure. So touch the rim, touch a wall, measure that, get a sticker and slap it on the backboard. But the simplest way is to get a rim and then touch on your arm and measure your arm and be really strict about it. You know, take a tape measure your part of your arm, and it's fun to keep trying to hit different parts of your arm. If your reach is 91 inches like mine and you're just touching the rim like this, then you just do the math. 120, which is the inches of the rim, minus your 91-inch reach, right? That is 29 inches, right? That's how I got that. That's why I say my vertical was below 30 inches when I started, because I couldn't even touch the rim, right? Same reach, couldn't touch the rim. And then you move down and you start touching. So if you touch here, little notch, you start to grab it, you start to grab here. That's why I think so many people miss dunks, because they're grabbing the rim here. Say this is the rim, they're grabbing the rim and the ball is getting over the rim, but they really need to get even higher so they can keep their hand on top of the ball and dunk it. All right, so now I want to get into how to test, and I think this is one of the best ways to test your own vertical if you have a rim, because it helps you practice the timing of a dunk as well, which is the goal. We all want to dunk. So you touch the rim, and as you touch it, right, try to reach higher and try to touch different parts of your hand. So if you're grabbing it, don't just go to grab it, because I see so many people go to grab it and they do that again, that they're coming up from the rim and they really could go above the rim, but they're just trying to grab it every time, which is fun. But try to hit that palm, try to really reach. So what that does is, say you're hitting your palm on the rim and then you're going for your wrist. Now, because you're going for your wrist, if you hit your wrist on the rim, then your timing is great. But something like that cushion up there, which I would go for in the past, is another great tool. So there's a lot of great tools built into the rim that help you push yourself to jump higher than you have, which is gonna help you increase your vertical, but also give you a goal to go for, and that's gonna help you measure your vertical the best. Also, be really strict with yourself when you touch, because sometimes you hit your palm and you grab it and it feels like your wrist was up there, but just really watch a video. It's really good to get a video to get exactly where it is, because every inch matters and it really adds up. So another thing you might notice when you're measuring is, if you're trying to get your wrist to the rim, you may be jumping too far, you may be jumping too close, getting under it, but if you can really get the timing where your wrist hits right in the rim, right where at the peak of your jump, that's gonna be great practice for you to start getting your first dunk. So I like going for the rim because it really helps your timing, but again, I love going for that cushion as well, because it's something you could measure. You could put my tape measure on it all by myself and measure it to the floor and then go for that goal, right? So just really keep going for things that are out of your reach. That's the most important. When you're testing your vertical, whenever you're touching something like the backboard, it may not be the best jump you could possibly do. For example, when I go for a dunk, sometimes I jump way higher than when I'm just going to touch my wrist on the rim, because like I said, I don't want you to do this, but you're going for the rim. I want you to go higher than something. So last thing before I get into the 3 tips to increase your vertical is do a combination. So test on the rim so you can keep working on your timing and keep making notches down your arm, and it's a really simple way to measure. But also have something like on the backboard, whether it's the square or the side of the cushion, something that you're reaching that's out of your reach to keep that stimulus and really push yourself to jump your highest so you can measure your highest vertical. So that leads me to tip number 1, which is setting small goals. So for example, if you can't touch the net, touch the net. If you can't touch the backboard, touch the backboard. Then touch the rim. And now what I mean by small goals is this. Don't get ahead of yourself and just go for those dunks. Keep making progress, because you'd rather make long-term progress step by step of the way than trying to shoot for this progress and barely getting there and then falling back down because you made a mistake. So what I mean by that is go for the rim, try to grab it. Once you're grabbing it and snapping it, try to hang on it. Once you're hanging on it with one hand, challenge like this, hang on it. Challenge yourself to hang on it with 2 hands because you don't have the ability to reach. That means you're jumping higher. But 2 hands is a fantastic goal, because I remember when I was younger and I was trying to hang with 2 hands, it was an incredible feeling to be able to hang on a rim with 2 hands. Like a legit NBA player, you feel like you're hanging on the rim, and at only 5'10", that was an amazing goal for me to be able to jump up there and hang with 2 hands. It felt so legit. It was such a good feeling. So it energizes you. If you go for a goal like that, you get it, you can hang on that legit rim, it feels great. It's a great way to keep yourself motivated and keep yourself pushing hard. And then from there, like I said, little notches down your wrist, take off from further, all these different things, but the point is set small goals that are just one step above what you can do right now and keep attacking them. Tip number 2 is a huge idea, and there's so many details and aspects, and it's body awareness. And the reason I want to bring it up is because I want you to get started on it now, because it's so important. And what I mean by that is you're testing your vertical, you're working on your vertical, you're working on your speed, you're working on your body, your mobility, all these different things, and they add up to a good or bad jumping day. So when you're going to measure your vertical, you need to be at your peak. If I asked you right now, can you jump your very best tomorrow? Or can you jump your very best in 1 week? What would you do? Do you even know what your body needs for it to jump the highest? Whether it's nutrition, body movements, priming your muscles, recovery, hydration, all those different things. Do you know exactly what your body needs and what exercises you do to prime your body the best? If you don't, this is your chance to get started. So I'm gonna give you a quick tips to understand how to prime your body. Start with just jumping, but be aware while you're jumping. So for example, when you're jumping, count how many jumps you can do in a day. And then when you start to feel fatigued, say it's 10 jumps and you start to feel tired, you can't jump your best. Okay, mark that down. How did you feel the next day? Did you feel super sore? Did you feel medium sore? Just start collecting data, because as you do that, you're gonna be starting to notice that every session is gonna be different. You're not gonna feel the same every session. So maybe one day when you're taking your notes of how you felt during the session, you're gonna be like, I felt friggin' great. I was flying. I felt like I had that extra bounce, that extra step. What did I do? But you can look back at the other days where you felt a little bit less than that. You felt a little bit sluggish, a little bit like you didn't have that bounce. But we want those days with the max bounce. But the only way you're gonna get them is start understanding what's the difference between those days so you can start maximizing your body. As you can see, it's super important, and we're gonna make tons of videos on that. Leave a comment if you have any questions specifically on priming your body, how to get primed, how to make the most. I'm all about that energy. So if you can figure out how to get more energy on more days, that's how I like to live my life, because I want that. So I'm trying to reverse engineer that, hack it, so I can have more high flying days, and I want the same for you. So let's go. And third, and probably most important, is the mindset. And the mindset I want to leave you with today is patience. I want you to think long term about this, because a lot of times for me with my training, what I did wrong was trying to jump my highest every single day or every week, instead of thinking, okay, what if I can jump 10 inches higher this year instead of just 1 inch higher this month, something like that. The point is, if you're thinking that long term, every day is a step up instead of just trying to make a big leap and then falling. You're just fluctuating every single session. So I want you to think super long term. What's the most progress you can make today for your long-term progress? Because no matter what age you're at, the more progress you can make, the better, right? So we don't want just short-term progress. We want long-term progress, because that maximizes what we can do. We don't want to just touch the rim. We want to dunk, and we don't want to just dunk. We want to dunk in games, and we want to do tricks, and we want to dunk on people. So with that being said, you have to think about all the different facets and get them all working, which means it takes a lot of time, and I want you to get over that mindset right now that it's gonna happen right now and just work on getting better, so that way you're building your foundation and your potential just keeps raising, and you can have the most fun and jump the highest you possibly can. All right, so that's it for today's video. Stay tuned for next week. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for leaving your comments, because that helps us make the best videos we possibly can. Leave any question you have. I'll get back to you personally. So let's get it. See you next week.